And we're gonna do this video a little bit differently because I do want to speed up kind of these videos with these tier list debates. And I'm gonna like kind of rank them myself. But if you guys disagree, let me know in the chat, and we'll like take a little bit slow and talk about it. And I'll do a poll, and then wherever chat votes for is where I'm gonna rank the card. And I'm hoping that this will kind of speed up the debates here. Yeah, because those videos go kind of long, like over 2 hours. I want to try to keep these under 2 hours. Hopefully, like 1 hour is a good time. So yeah, we're just gonna try this one a little bit differently and see what happens. And yeah, let me know, guys, if you guys can hear me. But let's go ahead and start talking about Hercules a little bit. Um, he is kind of, I think that now that we see his cards, he's a little bit underwhelming, and it's kind of concerning because I was hoping to see a Hercules card that works very well whenever he has 0 gifts, right? So if you guys don't know the mechanic for Hercules, let me share this tab here on Hall of Heroes. So the way that Hercules works is that he needs these labors right here. He has 3 labors in a labor deck, and some of them are very difficult to actually, they're all like pretty difficult to clear off. This one here, you tutor a minion with at least 6 printed hit points. You give it plus 6 more hit points, so it has 12 hit points there. And then only Hercules can do damage, to that minion. And then there's a side scheme one, and there's one where he has to like defend, right? So after you clear one of these, you get one of these random gifts in your gift deck, which is, there's also 3 of them. And the thing is, I mean, when you get this, it's nice because you get to draw 4 cards for each one of these gifts. But the problem is all of the cards in his kit revolve around having gift cards in play. So basically, whenever you clear off a labor, you get a gift card into play. And until then, you have 0 gift cards in play. And a lot of the cards, if you don't have a gift card in play, don't have like a kicker. So like the new card that Stretch 22 reviewed right here, Olympus, I think it's one of the best cards in his kit. It's a 0 cost support where it can exhaust it to generate a wild resource for any gift card you control. But if you have no gift cards, it doesn't do anything, right? So if you have at least 1 gift card, it's very good because then it's, 0 cost resource generation, generate 1 wild resource. But until then, it's not good. And I was hoping that all the cards, or not all the cards in his kit, would require at least 1 gift, but they all require like at least 1 gift to be like decently good. Like all of them are not good without any gifts, right? So like we look at his third event here, the Wisdom of Athena, 3 cost event, reduce the cost by 1 for each gift card you control, removes 4 threat from a scheme. So 3 for 4 is very, very tough to pay for. Yeah, 3 costs for 4 threat removal. If it's at least 2 costs, that's a lot better. And obviously, whenever it goes to 0 cost, whenever you have the full 3 gifts, it's amazing. But the problem is, it's the early game where Hercules seems to suffer the most, and we have not gotten any cards. Well, we know all the cards now. None of them really help that early game. So I'm pretty down on him right now. Matthew, welcome to the chat. How are you doing, dude? We survived the freeze. It was crazy because it wasn't that bad at all. I think a lot of us here in Texas expected a really bad freeze to happen because I think a few years ago we had a really bad one. Like I think everyone lost power for like a week and stuff. It was really terrible. But this time, I mean, no one that I even know lost power. So it's pretty chill. We're pretty happy here. And I should have just done my regular live stream on Monday because I think we had power the whole day. I was worried about the internet like flickering and stuff, but it seems like to be pretty good. So we're doing this live stream right now just because we already have all of Hercules cards. Celtic Canadian, welcome to chat. Sally, I have the work thing. Sorry to hear that, man. I'll watch later. Awesome. Yeah, let me know later what you think about Hercules cards. So yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and get to ranking Hercules cards, guys, and let me know. I'm assuming you guys can hear me, but you can't. Just let me know that I'm just talking to myself here. But let's go ahead and jump over to the tier list. So the first thing I want to talk about are the gifts here. So he has these 3 gifts. Actually, let me not. Okay, let me jump back over to the Hall of Heroes. So let me see. I'm gonna rank the gifts. And let me know if you guys agree or disagree, because we could definitely do a poll, and I'll discuss this all with chat and have this be like a democracy on where to rank these cards. But I think they all rank in the same category for me, like in the tier list. So each time you clear one of these tough labors, you randomly get a gift. And these are the 3 gifts that Hercules has. They're all permanent cards, so they don't go away after you get them in play. And they all have a response where after this card enters play, you can draw 4 cards. That helps you offset a lot of the cost that is required to clear off one of these labors, right? This one, you have to defeat 12 hit point minion. This one, you have to remove a, how much threat? Like at least threat, maybe like a 8 to 9 threat side scheme. And then this one, you have to defend, I believe it's 3 attacks. Yeah, you have to be able to successfully defend 3 attacks and not die. So that's kind of like Drax-esque, right? So pretty tough stuff to do. But once you clear one, then you get, one of these gifts into play. And then they all have like a special permanent effect as well, right? So this one, Hercules gets +2 hit points and gains steady. This one, he gets +1 hit point and gains retaliate 1. This one gets +1 hit point and gains piercing on his basic attacks. So, those are like nice effects, but they're not anything like game changing. And I don't think that it's worth clearing these labors for. I feel like it's a little bit like the hit point is nice, but like especially this one where you have to defend 3 attacks, you'll probably take more damage than like 2, right? And the max that you can get is 2 hit points if you get this gift right here. So yeah, I feel like these cards right here, like by themselves, I think they're better than aspect cards. But I think that in Hercules kit, the fact that you can't just play them, you have to clear a labor in order to get these. I feel like they're very situational. So let's go back to this here. And yeah, I'm gonna put all 3 of the gifts in the C tier. I think they're just, I don't know. I just don't see the value in them. I feel like that they're not worth the amount of effort that you had to go through to get them. And I'll definitely put the +2 hit point one and steady one first. I think that is the best one of the 3. But I mean, they're all pretty close. I think the piercing on base attacks is a little bit better than the retaliate 1 as well. So yeah, we have like the +2 hit point steady. We have the piercing +1 hit point and then +1 hit point and retaliate right here. But I don't know, guys. I'm pretty down on the cards now that we've seen everything. Let me see. Some catch up on chat here. Matthew says, I thought Texas was hot all the time. Yeah, I mean, I'm here. We're supposed to be hot all the time, but we're actually not. So, pretty, yeah, well, I would say this. I've seen a lot of other places. There's snowing right now. We have literally no snow at all this like whole winter. So, you know, pros and cons, I guess. When we have snow though, I don't have too much experiences with snow, but I've seen like fluffy snow, which looks awesome. Our snow is like hard, icy, not fun snow. And maybe that's kind of all snow. I don't really know too much about like if snow can be as relaxing as what it seems like in movies. But yeah, Texas cold for us is not cold for other people. But yeah, me and my wife, we're freezing these days. But yeah. Chicano Heat says, Web-Warrior, let's go. I miss your Lorcana content. Sorry, dude. Yeah, I have not played Lorcana in a minute now. It's just these set rotations really turn me off from the game. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because Mario Champions is doing a very similar thing with their set rotations. So like, or not set rotations, but like with the current environment. And I just feel like every card game has to do that. I don't know why. I'm not a big fan of like rotations. And Mario Champions, I thought would be the game that doesn't do that. But the thing with Mario Champions is that is because it's co-op, I'm still able to use all my old stuff, even with the current environment. I just play legacy environment, right? So I think that is like the easiest pill for me to swallow in terms of the card games. But yeah, I don't like not having cards, or having cards that I'm not able to use, and then always needing to chase the new cards and like have the old decks I built be obsolete. But at least in Mario Champions, because I can always play current environment and it's a co-op game, that's not the case. But yeah, the Lorcana thing doing that really put me off, especially, and I think it wouldn't be as bad if it wasn't. So all the cards that I had from like the earlier sets in Lorcana, uh, and so I didn't have a lot of the expensive cards. So all those expensive cards, if you guys played Arcana, I'm trying to think of one like Hades, from set 1, the blue Hades. I never owned any copies of that Hades. Well, that got reprinted and is now still going to be in like the set rotation. And all the ones that I do have that are like good cards, those are all like phasing out, so I can't use them anymore. So I was like, how come none of the ones that like there's like a I forgot the other ones. It's been a minute, but yeah, it's yeah. Evo, welcome to the chat. I think sword is best for piercing. You don't want his big basic attacks to go to waste. Yeah, true. I think the sword is very good. I think the piercing is very nice. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, like, the steady, I think, is also nice from this thing, because if he gets stunned or confused, I feel like that's brutal for Hercules. I feel like a stunned or confused like completely like shuts him down. So I feel like the steady being able to help him out, attack or thwart if he needs to, is also very useful. Evo says, I guess stun also ruins a basic attack, but if playing protection, you can use Niners. Oh yeah, true, true, true. Yeah, Niners and Sinclair definitely helps offset that. Evo says, I can't really think of an aspect upgrade that adds piercing. Um, yeah. So like once again, if I said this earlier, but maybe you weren't in the chat yet. If these cards right here, if they were like one cost upgrades, zero cost upgrades, they're better than all aspect cards. They're like amazing or super duper strong, right? If they're just an upgrade by himself, but they're tied to clearing a random labor, and they randomly come out. So I think for that, if you desperately need piercing, for example, you clear a labor, you're like, okay, with this piercing, I'll be able to clear off this next minion after I clear off my labor. Well, then you get like this one or this one. The one doesn't give you piercing. Like, ah, crap. I'm like, okay, I really was banking on getting piercing to do something, but now I don't have it. Or if you're sort of confused and you're like, hey, like if I clear this labor, I can maybe get this. And then you get one of the other ones, like that sucks. So like, I think that no matter what, at its best, it's still going to be situational because they come out at the wrong time. And then at its worst, they don't like do anything, right? Like it's just so, or not that they don't do anything, but that they're so hard to get into play because they're clearing out labor, right? Like if something goes wrong where the villain's putting a lot of pressure on you, tap here. And then like you have to deal with something else, and then this freaking like minion here is just like killing you with like, the 12 hit point minion is like doing some nasty stuff like throughout like the course of the game. You can't even clear it off, like, right? You have to deal with the villain stuff. So like I put the cost to do that as a part of these gifts here, because these gift cards are tied to these labors, right? So I think that's why they're in situations here. But I definitely do a poll here for you guys, and let me know what you guys think, if you guys disagree with that. So how strong are Hercules gift cards? And we'll do a poll here, and we'll see what chat thinks. If you guys vote for C or D, I'll have another poll ask you guys. But yeah, I'm not sure what the community thinks about that. I'm personally not super hyped on it, but we'll see what you guys say. Let's see, where am I? Chat. Soaker, welcome to the chat. Hello, man. Welcome. Yeah, seems like most people are voting C or D right now. Oh, okay. We have some votes in A, B. Yeah, well, I'm gonna let the poll run a little bit, and we'll see where you guys end up with that. But yeah, I mean, once again, like if these were out and I just played them by itself, they're very, very good cards, especially with the response to draw 4 cards, right? I understand the response is to offset like the amount of work that you take to like clear these off. But honestly, I feel like most of the time it's gonna require more than 4 resources to clear each one of these, right? Like imagine like playing a swing web kick, right? Which is like, 4 effective resources, right? Because you have the card and then the 3 cost for the card. Well, that does 8 damage. This minion here has 12 hit points. So like we're never gonna be able to clear this, I think most of the time at least, without at least more than 4 resources, right? And then like same with the throat removal one, same with the defense one. This one is actually as well, because I feel you can't do this in one turn, right? This at least takes 2, 3 turns, probably 3 most of the time, because you're gonna get exhausted, right? So this one's nice because you get Amadeus Cho, but then like it takes longer, right? These you can like at least clear on turn 1 if you like have like an amazing hand for it. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Wasteland Sniper, welcome to chat. I'm a little bit late to the party. No, I think we basically just started, so you're good to go right now. I think this is your first live stream that I've seen you in, right? So it's pretty cool. Evo says the gifts enable the benefits of the rest of his kits. The actual upgrades are okay. Yeah, yeah, you know what? That's a fair point. I think that if you consider that he needs gifts to do things, right? Not just the fact that like the actual gift card itself, but that he needs 1 gift, 2 gift, or 3 gifts to like actually like pop off. I think I could definitely see it's going up. I think the poll is changing here. Okay, so we got some different votes now. So we have 29% of you guys voted the S tier. So maybe I'm like way off on here. And if that's the one that wins, that's where I'm going to put the gifts. And then we have okay, now it's completely tied up everywhere. So it's like 25% of votes everywhere. But for my last poll option, it's C and D tier for 25%. So it seems that you guys disagree with me. At least it's going to be going to B tier, I think. Very evenly split though, which I'm surprised to see. Like maybe it's how like we evaluate the gifts, because like we have 25% of the votes S tier, A tier, B tier, and C and D, guys. So that's pretty crazy. We're very split right now as a community. Tony Gee, welcome to chat. Says, hi, can you go through multiple labors in a game? Can you go through multiple? Yeah. So, I mean, for Hercules here, you have to, I mean, you don't have to, but you ideally want to clear all 3 labors, right? You can, yeah. I mean, you can definitely clear them. I was trying to think, can you clear off multiple in a turn? Whoops, clicked on the wrong card. I don't think you can clear multiple in a turn. No, actually, you could, but like I don't think you could do it in true solo. Like if you have enough resources, right? Because as an action, you have to do as an alter ego. Oh no, sorry, here. But yeah. Here, if there is no labor card in play, you can review the top card of the labor deck. So I guess you can clear multiple a turn, right? I don't think it'll ever happen though in true solo. I don't think you can actually do in true solo, but like theoretically you can, and you definitely want to clear all 3 like every single game. I'm assuming you need to clear all 3 in a game to really pop them off. Yeah, because getting to that third one like really makes them go insane. Let me see if they update the new cards yet. They've not. But like for example, here with the Wisdom of Athena, if you have all 3 gift cards, it's a 0 cost Lord event that removes 4 threat, which is bonkers. His attack event here, Gift of Battle, becomes 0 if you have 3 gift cards and does 5 damage to enemies. So like ideally you do want to clear off all 3 labors. I'm not sure because we haven't, obviously he's not released yet, but I'm not sure if we'll be able to clear all 3 consistently every single game that I play him. But I think that's definitely my goal whenever I'm playing, to clear all 3, because that power that I get from that, I think it's gonna be worth it. The poll here is at 30% now S tier, 30% A tier. So oh my goodness, guys, I am shocked. Okay, so I think we'll probably put him in A because it's tied up. We do have a decent amount of votes in B, C, and D. So I feel like that's where it kind of lines up. Witcher Detective, welcome to chat. You could, in a best case, one turn to protect humanity labor via using the taunt event. You could one turn it. So so when the villain would attack Hercules, you choose one of your allies. The villain attack. Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. I think I read it instead. So it attacks the ally, but then Hercules has to defend. So Hercules has to defend to remove the labor counter. So let me see. If you use taunt, then the villain attacks one of your allies. Then after the attack resolves, so Hercules has to defend the attack. I don't know. You need 2 taunts then, right? Because you needed to use taunt twice, but then Hercules has to exhaust to defend. So I feel like at best he's taunting during the player phase to get a defense off, and then during the villain phase he's defending again to get another counter off, right? So that's 2 defenses across 1 round. So like I see what you're saying. I think it's definitely possible, right? Like if he has like a Indomitable desperate defense, he can ready up and then like maybe play another taunt, defend again, or the villain gets a second activation, like with an assault, he can defend again. I feel like it's not. I don't know how to describe it. It's not. I don't think it's the highest chance though for that. I feel like everything needs to click perfectly, and if the villain has like boost effects, if they do a lot of damage, to actually like hurt Hercules even through his defense. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. You're right though, right? You could, in best case, best case, one turn it. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that though. I feel like it just requires like too much things going right. Wasteland Sniper says, I'm reserving judgment until the pack is out. I do think he looks really interesting. Yeah. And I'm always glad to see designers do something new. Yeah. He's a very interesting hero. So like, I know I'm pretty down on him right now, but I think that I like his introduction to the game. I really like this labor and gift mechanic. I just wish that we had more of a bonus here. Like I think if the constant effect was a little bit more, that'd be really cool. Like imagine this, if like each one was like Hercules gets like, I don't know, +5 hit points. Because then he could just stay up in hero form longer, right? And then you could build his hit point pool to like, I don't know, 30. Like I feel like that would feel very crazy good and like make a lot of this feel more worth it. Because like as I'm doing all this, I feel like it's, I don't know. I mean, he does get a free flip though from his hero form, right? Whenever he gets a gift, you can ready and you may flip to alter ego form, but then you have to exhaust recovery, a lot of damage from that. So I just wish he has got more hit points. Like I just need a little bit more of a upside to this, and I was hoping that we get more cards to show that, but haven't really been showing all that. So okay, so where are we at with the poll here, guys? Okay, so we have okay, so 30% S tier, 30% A tier. It's tied up, but since 40% of the votes are B tier and under, I'm gonna put the gifts in the A tier. So yeah, you guys changed my vote here. I guess you guys think it's a lot better than what I think it is. So we're gonna put the gifts here in A tier, and you know I definitely see the side of chat here to put this in A tier. Yeah, because I mean, like what Evo was saying, like each gift that you get in play. Oops, let me put it. Sorry, I wasn't screen sharing. So each gift, so I move all these up to, from C where I put them to A where our chat wants them. Because for each gift that's in play, you get an extra bonus to all your events, right? So all your events become a little bit better with the gifts. So calculating with that, I mean, they have like a secret upside that's not just on the card printed itself, right? So I could definitely see that being A tier. Yeah, personally, I think I would still maybe put it maybe in B tier with that information for my personal thoughts. But yeah, it seems like the community has an A tier because a lot of you guys have an S tier. So yeah, all right. So that's where we have the gifts here. Okay, let's rank another card, guys. We had 36% of the vote here in A tier now. So yeah, A tier ended up winning out anyway. So we have them there in A. All right, let me end the poll, and then let me catch up here on chat. Tony Gee says, it feels like all the resources spent to complete all labors could instead go into defeating the villain. Yeah, I think that's like the meme that's going on right now with Hercules. That like it's a 12 hit point minion at least, right? It could be higher than 12 hit points. So like the resource that you need to defeat that minion, and it could like this minion right here. I mean, you're taking out like the first stage of like a standard villain with that, right? And then instead you have to focus on this minion. So yeah, the thing is, you ramp up so much after you get this gift, right? After you get any one of the gifts, because all your attacks become cheaper as well, right? With the gift of battle becoming cheaper, so it becomes easier then on to like do damage to a villain. So Hercules is super powerful when he's built out. It's just before then, it's a little bit tough. Okay, let's rank. Why don't we rank one of the new cards? So a card that Stretch got to review. I think this is probably his best card. Olympus here. Zero cost support. Resource exhaust Olympus and generate a water resource for each gift card you control. So like if you have no gifts, obviously it doesn't do anything, but just put it down on the table because it's zero cost, right? So super duper cheap. You just have it down. And the moment that you clear one gift, or one labor, I mean, this becomes better than a Quinn Carrier because Quinn Carrier is 3 resources to generate a water resource. This is 0. And you get the water resource, right? So you just gotta clear one gift for this to like be good. And even before that, I mean, you can just get it down on the table and it can still get caught off guard or something like that, right? So like I feel like that just being 0 cost makes it very good. And the fact the upside is generating triple resources as an on-demand resource generator. That's like equivalent to Tigra's pendant, right? So I feel like that's super duper good. So yeah, let's jump back to. I'm gonna put this card that Stretch out to review. I think it's the best card in his kit. So I'm putting S tier, super duper strong. What do you guys think about that? Let me do a poll here. So how strong is Olympus? All right, let's see what you guys say about that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like I bet Olympus is pretty good. I can see the case for it not being S tier. I mean, honestly, I can see the case of all his cards not being S tier because they all require like at least one gift to be decent. But this one's already, the thing is, most of his cards are not the best with one gift, right? Like Olympus is already like with one gift, like top tier, right? Like everything else needs like 2 or 3 gifts to become top tier. And Olympus like just goes crazy whenever you get more gifts. So that's why I feel Olympus is kind of separate from all the other cards in his kit. But I'm interested to see what you guys think. Yeah, we're gonna let the poll just keep running. We have 50% votes in S tier and 50% in A tier right now. So yeah, I'm not sure what you guys think about that. Let's hop back over to Hall of Heroes here. When we go a little bit into his hero card as well. So Hercules, I mean, he has 14 printed hit points, 4 hand size in hero form, but he has a 6-card hand size in alter ego. Unfortunately, none of the cards that were reviewed like work off his alter ego. Like all of his stuff is like hero action type of cards and like events to play in hero form. So it doesn't get much of a benefit to flipping down alter ego other than getting +2 cards. So like it stinks because you want to be an alter ego to get the +2 to the hand size, right? Like She-Hulk, I mean, she has like a decent alter ego like ability, but she's just so good to flip down because the disparity between hand size in hero form and alter ego is the same for She-Hulk, right? 6 in alter ego, 4 in hero form. So you always have that benefit to flipping down. But for Hercules, I mean, there's not as much of a benefit, right? Like you can recover, yeah, I don't know. Like, and then like you get this free flip, which I love. I think this is very good. You may flip to alter ego form limit once per phase after you clear a labor, right? So like that's pretty awesome. But then you usually you want to flip back up to hero form, right? That's the point of giving you the free flip, so you can flip back again, so the villain doesn't scheme on you. But the thing is, if you do that, you don't get to drop to your hand sets of 6. You have to drop to 4 again, right? So like I don't know. That's kind of counterproductive there. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure, guys. Yeah, I think you guys mostly agree. We had 50% of the votes here for S tier for Olympus, 33 for A, and 17 for B. Yeah, I think you guys basically agree. If you guys disagree, just let me know that in chat, and we could definitely revisit the poll. But yeah, I think we're just gonna leave um the Olympus card here in S tier. So why don't we talk about his? Yeah, I think this is the best card for Hercules, the Olympus card, just because it has the lowest downside and like its upside. I mean, it's up there being like one of the best upsides, right? Like obviously playing a zero cost event to do 5 damage or zero cost event to remove 4 threat is very nice. But having a zero cost resource generator that generates triple resources, I mean, that's pretty good too, right? So Witcher Detective says Herc looks like a multiplayer character that will snowball hard. Yeah. I think in multiplayer, like I think he still wants support in multiplayer. I think he still wants other players to help him out a little bit, right? By giving him some economy and stuff like that. Because in multiplayer, with his labors, I mean, sure, he can work on them, but only he can do them, right? Like these labors aren't cards that like people can help him with, right? Because the minion cannot take damage except from Hercules' attacks, right? The attached side scheme threat cannot be removed except by Hercules' thwarts, right? So like I think for that reason, like he's not gonna be helping out the rest of the table, obviously. But I think he wants a little bit of ramp because the moment that the table can provide like an Avengers Mansion or like a Helicarrier to help him reduce his cards so he can defeat these things, he can more easily help out in the future. So I think it's worth it to invest in Hercules, like as a group and help him. And then once he clears off his things, then he can really help the group like tremendously, right? So let me see here. Witcher says multiplayer can help the labors with Vivian. Oh, wait a minute. 2 of those labors are attachments, not upgrades. Oh, how does Vivian break Hercules? How does this? Wait a minute. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So you're saying use the Vivian ally. Let me pull it up for everyone that's not that's not how she works. I think what you're telling me is use a Vivian ally to blank out the attachment so that players can help him out. And then Vivian will go away and then have Hercules get the kill afterwards, right? So let me share this tab. So Vivian here, she's like one of the strongest allies in the game. Here response after Vivian enters play, choose an attachment. Until the end of the round, choose the card's printed text box as if it were blank except for traits, right? So if you're playing in multiplayer, and let me share it back over here, and you have Vivian blank this out, well, the attachment does not have +6 hit points anymore. So they only have like their at least printed 6, right? So, because if you defeat the minion, does this card go into victory display? How does that work? Attached minion. So this is what attached minion cannot take damage except for with attacks. How? I think actually I think what happens is if you Vivian this card, no, it won't have the victory. Guys, how does that work? I I'm ruling on that, guys. Does Vivian break Hercules? Has anyone talked about that? Because I'm not sure. I'm sure someone's talked about it before, like in Discord or something. But let me know, guys. Does what the heck? Um, I don't really know how Vivian interacts with this because if she blanks us out, no, she also blanks out victory. right? If she blanks us out, she blanks out the victory. So then it can't go into victory sleigh, right? What's its hero ability? After labor cards add, yeah, it has to get added to victory sleigh. So I'm guessing you have to actually get this into. Does she blank out the victory key? No, she does blank out the victory keyword. Yeah, Vivian does do that. So I guess she could blank it out temporarily and then have the other teammates like do some damage to the minion. And then the next round Hercules can do the rest of the damage. I guess. I think that's the only way that that'll work. So I still don't think it's like the most biggest value from Vivian. I believe I have the ruling correct on that. That Vivian can, because the hit points here will also be blanked out from the minion, right? So the minion will only have 6 hit points, and then the friends can help Hercules do 5 damage, drop it down to 1, and then next round Vivian's effect goes away. The minion will get the plus 6 hit points again, and then Hercules can clear it off and then get this in victory display. Because if Vivian blanks us out and the minion is defeated, this card will not go in the victory display. I don't know where it will go though. Would it go into your owner discard pile? Yeah, I'm not even sure. Yeah, I don't know. Wasteland Sniper says, I can see the aspect card design space for Hercules being very interesting with his labors in mind. Yeah, maybe his aspect cards will buff up a lot, but the way it is now, I think it looks pretty tough. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be some very specific. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Like very specific aspect cards that work really good only for him, but not really good for anyone else. I think would be pretty cool. Yeah, okay. So let's rank his hero card, his identity card here, because we just took a look at it. So okay, he has 4 hand size, 14 hit points. 1 thwart is bad. 3 attack is very good, and 2 defense. It's the same stat line here as She-Hulk. She-Hulk has 1 more hit point though, right? 15 hit points. So She-Hulk has a better stat than Hercules. He is the Avenger in the Olympus trait. Atonement is his response after a labor card is added to the victory display. Put the top card of the gift deck into play, and then you can ready up Hercules. So you get the ready, and you get to draw 4 cards from the gift entering play. Nice. And then you may flip to alter ego form. So that's nice as well. But I mean, this is limit once per phase, so you don't ever want to actually clear 2 labors in a turn, even if you're able to, because you get less value. You don't get the ready, because you can't trigger this twice, right? Um, wait, you don't get the gift card either, right? So it looks like from what I'm reading this, you cannot actually clear 2 labors a turn, because if you clear 2 labors in 1 turn, you don't get the gift on the second one because this is a limit once per phase where you're able to add the gift and put into play, right? So I guess it's only 1 labor per turn. Mela says, have we seen the Nemesis set? Maybe the minion scheme are somehow very soft and you can just use them for labors. Oh, yeah. We have not seen the Nemesis set, though. We only seen all the hero cards here. So maybe that'll be a good target. But thing is, let me see. Let's see. Can you... It says find a non-elite minion. I don't know. Is find... No, find is a set aside area. So I'm guessing his Nemesis minion has to be able to be a target for this, right? Because you have to find a non-elite minion, and if you're playing a scenario that doesn't have any, I was just thinking that yesterday. Like if he's facing a scenario that doesn't have any, I think that there's no target. I think you're on something like Mela. I think that that is on point because I feel like we can make a bold prediction right now that Hercules Nemesis minion is non-elite and has 6 hit points and is a target for this because that way there's always a target for this card. And I'm guessing his Nemesis side scheme is always a target for this. So that is pretty interesting. Really good shout out there for a Nemesis set. So I think he might be one of the heroes that I'm most excited to see the Nemesis set for compared to any other hero because he interacts with the hero cards in his kit. I'm assuming that it would. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. But they did not review the Nemesis minion. Okay. Evo says, thank you for the information, Wasteland. Evo says you can do the obligation in the villain phase and an attachment in the player phase. Do the obligation. Oh, yeah, because this is limit once per phase, right? Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool. So then if you do this one, oh, yeah, that's a good shout out too. Yeah. Because then, right, if you defend this, you're exhausted. You get to ready up. You get to put the gift card. And then in the player phase, you're readied up now. And it's a new phase for you to trigger atonement. That's awesome. Yeah, really nice shout out. Thank you. You guys are helping me understand Hercules a lot better there. Yeah, okay. That's very interesting. So that's another way for Hercules to do that. Yeah. Yeah, that looks awesome. Subtle Nimbus, welcome to chat. Maybe there are more than 1 Nemesis minions, at least one of... Oh, yeah, that's another huge shot. Yeah. I could definitely say that as well. right? Maybe his main one is going to be the elite one, but there's other ones in that Nemesis set that are non-elite. That makes a lot of sense as well. Crunk, welcome to chat, says, could have other minions in the Nemesis set as well that are 6 more health. Yeah. I totally agree, you guys. Yeah. You guys are all on the same like train of thought. Yeah, I think you guys helped me understand this kit a lot better. I think, but here's the thing, right? If he gets a Shadow of the Past and he has multiple minions with 6 health, that's brutal, right? Because only the main one will come out, but then you may review the next one in the counter deck later on. I don't know. They need to have some sort of super weak effect, like 0 scheme 1 attack or something like that, or like maybe like a 1 scheme 0 attack one, like maybe different option that you can pick. I think that would be really. I think maybe that's what Hercules needs to like be very good. Like, okay, so everything I'm saying about Hercules here will be with a caveat because I think that the big fix for Hercules that could make him like a more viable hero, especially in true solo, is if his Nemesis set has like a minion that's like 0 scheme 1 attack 6 hit points, and another card that's like 1 scheme 0 attack 6 hit points. Because then you can pick which one whenever you're tutoring it. That would be very, very cool. That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be a great way to balance him out. So yeah, I agree with you guys. He definitely needs a soft Nemesis set there. Let's see. Oh, where we chat? Evo says, was it reviewed that Ares is a Nemesis minion? I could be wrong. I have no clue. Where was that reviewed? I can try to pull that up. Subtle Nimbus says, sorry, I can't with the art for Herc's helmet. It's so mule. Yeah, the helmet here. It's a funny picture here. Herc's helmet is terrible artwork. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's not that cool though, but it's definitely a funny card. Okay, let me rank Hercules hero card here. So I feel like the ability to ready here. Let's hop back over to the tier list. I think I'm tempted to put it in situational. It's B or C. I'm gonna put it in situational. I'm putting situational. All right, hear me out, guys. I feel like it doesn't help you clear your first labor at all, right? This hero ability here, it's basically a blank ability until after you clear your first labor. So Hercules struggles the most at the beginning of the game. And you guys know the way that I evaluate a lot of identity cards and heroes is that the consistency of the first turn effect is so important, right? So Spider-Man being able to generate like a mental resource and alter ego, Captain Marvel being able to draw you a card, like having that big push is really very, very powerful. But Hercules has nothing, right? He's good once he gets going, but nothing until then. He has a 3 attack, which is nice, but then here's a 1 Thor, which is like I'd rather have 2 Thor 2 attack than 1 Thor 3 attack, right? So yeah, I mean the 14 hit points is nice. It's very offsetted with the 4 hand size, so I feel like he's a situational, like he's not that strong of a hero card. One of the worst like hero cards in the game. I don't know if you guys agree with that. So let me see here. Ares was listed on the back of the pack. Mighty Glom says in the store, it says on the back of his box that Ares is a Nemesis. It would make sense that there is also a Hydra because the name facing the Hydra. Game Nerd shows the back of Hercules pack. It is Ares. Oh, okay. I'm gonna pull it up for you guys, and I'm gonna look it up my first time too. But let me start a poll here. Where you guys have Hercules hero card? How strong is Herc's hero card? And let me do this poll here first, and then I'll see what you guys wanna. Okay, so I'm looking for the backup pack. That's, I mean, you guys are like sleuths here. How do you guys find that? Let me see. Hercules backup pack. Marvel Champions. If you guys know, I think someone said Game Nerds, right? Let me see here. Let me see. Sorry, guys. I'm like lagging. Hopefully, it's not lagging for you guys. With me lagging here. Yeah, once I pull it up, I'll definitely show you guys. But I cannot. The lag is insane right now. Hopefully, it's not lagging you guys. Okay, let's share this. So backup pack here. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Yeah, okay. So the backup pack, sorry, the quality is not good at all right now. I couldn't find a better image. So 60 card hero pack includes 1 complete pre-built Hercules deck, okay? New cards that can be added. Yeah, so his aspect cards and a Nemesis set featuring Ares. Okay, so Ares is his Nemesis minion, but we don't know anything else about it, right? Like we don't know the stats and stuff. Um, Witcher Detective says Herc is a unique character in that his hero and alter ego ability can do nothing at some point. Yeah, unfortunately. Looks like most of you guys are voting for B tier though, so I'll probably bump him up to the B tier for where chat wants him to be. It looks like I'm more down on Hercules than most people, which is good because I'm very down on him and I definitely need some positivity to offset that. So, yeah. So it looks like we do have it confirmed that it is Ares as a Nemesis minion, but we just don't know his stats yet. And hopefully there are other Nemesis minions in that set that aren't like the main one that he can target with his the defeat the Hydra, right? Because that would be very, very nice. I think he definitely wants that. Okay, so let's hop back over to your list. You guys voted for B tier, right? Yeah, it's 62% of votes here in B, so I'm gonna bump up. So yeah, we're just gonna go whatever chat wants here. So you guys think that the identity card is better than aspect cards at B tier? So solid, yeah. I can see that. Like definitely once he gets going, I think he's very, very good. Um, yeah. I mean, it's not the worst in the game. I just think it's more near like the bottom half, but I think B tier is definitely not a bad spot for that. Okay, let me rank another card here. Uh, okay. So let's see. Share this tab. Okay. All right. Should we just go ahead and do the alter ego card? Because Witcher mentioned it here. So the alter ego card here for recovery is very nice, right? Instead of 3 recovery. He has a 14 hit points, 6 card hand size. So like he's got like very good stats for alter ego. Like his alter ego stats are like super good. Um, but other than that, I mean he does have action to if there is no labor card in play, you can reveal the top card of the labor deck. So you have to flip down to alter ego to get the next labor card, right? But you do get the free flip from his hero ability here, so that kind of works out nicely. On turn 1, you can trigger this and then potentially get something that like kills you, which is like bad. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's I still feel like most of the time on turn 1 you do want to trigger it, but I could definitely see cases where like the villain pressure is just so high, you don't want to deal with like extra minion or a side scheme. I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's tough. And obviously with the setup here, you get to begin the game with the labor deck and the gift deck, right? I don't know. I feel like just the stats alone, I feel like the stats are pretty good. I don't know. This is a tough one to rank. Okay, share this tab here. I think I'm gonna put it C tier again, guys. I think for me, it's just like C tier. Yeah, I think C tier again for me, guys. I'm gonna ask you guys though, and then you guys can have the final say on this. Yeah, because like I'm just not big on it. I think it's better stat than the hero side, but the hero ability is like a little better, right? Like I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's hard for me to rank. Hercules, alter ego, ranking. So you guys put him. Okay. All right, so where are we at here with chat? See. Mighty Glomp says, I feel like once you reach the point where his ability does nothing, you won't need anything else with how strong. Yeah, for sure. Once he gets there, I mean, he's gonna just pop up and go crazy. So I think that it's just like a matter of reaching there for Hercules. But once he gets all those gifts in play, like that's GG. I feel like he's unstoppable at that point. He's like probably gonna beat Iron Man for like the strongest build out hero. Because I think right now I still have Iron Man as the best build out hero in the game. But I think Hercules beats him, right? Once Hercules gets there. Mela says, I'm also quite pessimistic, but I really hope I'm wrong. Me too, me too. Like he looks so fun. If he actually plays fun, which like to me, he needs to have some viability in True Solo to be fun. Just because I do prefer True Solo over playing at higher player counts. So yeah, I really hope I'm wrong too. He just looks so rough. Yeah. Out of the game with the fact that the labor is random. Yeah, the fact that the labors are random. Like if it was at least like, it wouldn't change my mind much, but if at least it said, like, pick a random labor, and then you get to pick a gift to put into play, it doesn't even change. It doesn't help that much, but, like, that would be nice. That would be nice and not overpowered at all, in my opinion. But the fact that everything is random makes it, like, even more situational and, like, just really, really tough. I don't know. Yeah, good point there. Epic Beowulf, welcome to chat. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well too, dude. I think he will struggle a lot with threat. Yeah. I mean, he's gonna pop like even late game, like his stored event is very, very good. So the card here, um, the Wisdom of Athena, I think this is a very good stored event late game because it's zero cost, essentially, right? With the 3 gifts in play to remove 4 from his game. But I was telling Stretch this, I wish there's 3 copies of this card. There's only 2 copies, guys. Like, because you can see the number here 7, and it's going to be 8 because we already know the 9th card at 15 is Olympus. So only 2 Thor events. That means even late game, I mean, his Thort stat is still going to be just 1, right? So late game, he's counting on thwarting from this Thort event. And if there's a card or if you have bad luck, you don't draw them, like he's still not going to be able to thwart late game. So like his late game is really powerful, but the thwarting is still going to be a little bit inconsistent without drawing this card. With this card, it's amazing, but without it, it's a little bit tough. So yeah, I wish one of these gave him like +1 Thor. I think that would be fine. And then I wish one gave him like +1 attack, right? Like if he could have like, 2 Thor, 4 attack, 3 defense as like max styling after getting built out, that'll also make it like a lot more worth it. But unfortunately, it doesn't build that stat. Okay, we have B tier, I think. So 44% of you guys vote for the B tier Artigo card. So let's bump them up, guys. It's democracy here. Chat wins, so we're bumping it up. Yeah, you guys are a lot more positive on him than I am, which is totally fine. Okay, so let me rank another card here. We need to speed this up a little bit. Okay, let's see here. Let's rank one of the actually, should we just rank the Thor event? Yeah, why don't we do a Thor event here? So okay, so Wisdom of Athena, because I was just talking about the Thor event. This card, I think this card has to go in the C tier, right? It's situational because 3 for 4 is trash, like it's terrible. It's worse than aspect cards. 2 for 4 is okay. 1 for 4 is amazing. And 0 for 4 is S tier. So yeah, I feel like if we compare it to like Miles Morales, who has swing in, it's 2 cost for 4 threat removal, but then you also get to trigger Spire Camouflage and get a tough and a confused, right? So I think that, to equal that out, 2 or 4 still isn't like the aspect card level, or sorry, the identity specific card level. So you need to get this to 1 to 4 for it to be like on par with other identity cards. And then obviously you need to be 0 to 4 to be very good. So I feel like it's going to be C tier again for me. I don't know what you guys think about that. So Wisdom of Athena here going to C tier for me. You guys already know I'm pretty down on him, unfortunately. But let me see what chat thinks. Let me know down in the chat too if you guys disagree with me, because I definitely want to see y'all side. Okay. Rank Hercules Thort event. So we'll go S, A, B, C, or D. Let's see what you guys say. And if you guys vote the most in C or D, I'll have another poll asking you guys if you guys think it's C or D. I really wish I could have 5 poll options here, but YouTube doesn't let me do that. Okay, let me see. Money says, do we take the gifts into account? Yes, but you also take them like not in account, right? So it's kind of like it's a situational card, right? But you have to take it into account in terms of like okay, on turn 1 it's not that good, but once I have all the gifts, it's very good, and it have to like balance it out in your head, like determine where it goes. Mela says out of the gate because you can't have a consistent start. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think like that's why I think Cable is the strongest hero, because he has the best start in any hero in Marvel Champions. With this set of abilities, Soldier X, you can grab any player's side scheme, put it straight into play. So that player's side scheme dictates if you want to start with a specific ally, a specific support, or a specific upgrade, right? So being able to guarantee every single game and start with one of those cards, but like whichever one you want, I think it's so powerful. And yeah, I mean, Hercules is the opposite, right? Because not only do you start with nothing in play, but the one labor that you may be able to get, you can't even pick. And then you probably can't clear it on turn 1. So it's like, it's tough. So Nimbus says, honestly, Hercules is sounding like a lot of fun as a solo hero with the game within a game feeling. Yeah. I mean, I can totally see that. Like, I really like Cable and like his side scheme stuff. So like, I can definitely see the labors being like similar to like a side scheme mechanic. I don't know if it's gonna. So like for me, I think it's very fun and novel. For me, for it to actually be fun, it has to be viable as well, right? I think like for me, Hulk is fun because I actually think Hulk is viable. I think that there's ways to actually play him and have him be very, very, very powerful. And like the early game is kind of like that mini game feeling of like trying to get him built out. But I don't. I mean, that's probably a hot take. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, that's just how I personally feel. I know a lot of people disagree with that. But like so far, Hulk looks more fun than Hercules. Like Hercules' mechanic looks a lot more novel and better. Yeah, I think we just have to see how it actually plays. But yeah, I don't know, guys. I just like the ability of Hulk to just have a bunch of hit points and then like everything else is not very streamlined, right? You're able to play him flexibly however you want. I feel like Hercules, you have to clear those labors, right? That's like the only way to really get him going. Mela says, at least I don't see how for now. Yeah, but for how he can like be consistent. But it's a very cool design. Yeah, very very cool design, guys. So like definitely no shot at design. I think that delay mechanic is a very good introduction to Marvel Champions. Like I love having that. Just wish it was more powerful. Yeah. Evan Beowulf says I haven't been able to follow much on Hercules. Are the player cards any good? So the player cards are super duper good when you have three gifts out, and they're all terrible when you have no gifts, right? Um, yeah, like they're just very undercurved without any gifts. And most of them are not very good with just one gift. And then most of them become decent at two gifts. So yeah. The big exception is gonna be the Olympus card right here. This card is amazing at one gift. And obviously it's still not good at zero gifts, but at one gift it's amazing. And then at three gifts, it's like popping off. It's a triple research generator on demand, right? So yeah, I mean I think that's kind of like the summary of how his kit works. Mela says, actually, okay, let me do this poll. Okay, so the majority of you guys, 57% voted for C or D. So let me have another poll here asking you guys, Thor event, is it in C or D with only two options now? So should we put Herc's Thor event in C or D? C, D, and let's see what you guys say on that. All right, let me see here. Where am I with chat? The issue with something like Wisdom of Athena, so Authority event, is that you most desperately need it before it can get heavily discounted. Yes, yeah, yeah. Because once Hercules is fully built out, I mean, he's able to do easy readies, right, with the Son of Zeus, right? Because you can like trigger this thing, ready Hercules, and you can, if you have all the gifts, you can ready any identity specific card upgrade you control. You get a draw a card. So like this gives you a lot of value. But whenever you have no gifts, this card is not going to do as much, and you really desperately need a thwarting more because you don't get like the ready here is not as valuable as it is whenever you're fully built out, right? So yeah, I definitely agree. Like the Thor event is more needed whenever it sucks, and whenever it's not as needed anymore, it's very, very good. So yeah, very good point there. Mel also says, how often will you complete three labors in a game you haven't already won anyways? Genuinely curious, but I'm just being defeatist. Again, he looks cool. Yeah, I agree, guys. For everything, I agree with you, Mela, so much that like he looks very cool. I love the layer mechanic. I'm just like also having a very defeatist like outlook on him right now. And yeah, that you raised another good point. Like how often? Because will I be able to actually clear off three? I I feel like once you clear off two, you're strong enough to where a third one is more easily clear offable. And I think it's worth it for all your cards to clear a third one off, right? That's what I'm thinking in my head. But obviously, I think we'll have to play him. Maybe there will be games where we'll only clear off two and this end the game. I'm not sure. I feel, yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I think he's also going to be a weird one for us to well, like need to actually see how he plays. Gibbs, welcome to the chat. Oh wow, actually able to catch a stream. Yeah, dude, welcome to chat. I'm glad you're to join us. Winston Sniper says, I remember when Spider was announced and her handsets were reviewed. I was very skeptical of how good she'd be. I was pleasantly surprised. I'm hoping Herc surprised the ones who really jumped. Yeah, I'm also hoping that Hercules surprises me and us as well. Yeah, yeah. I did not play Marvel Champions whenever SPDR was released in the game, so I can't say. But this might be. I don't know. This is the most down that I've been on a hero since because let's say I jumped in the game during next evolution with Cable, and honestly, guys, I think Hercules might be the weakest hero that's been released or announced since I jumped in. So I think this is like that big time where I'm pretty down on him. But hopefully, I'm wrong. Yeah, because I think I want to like him. It's just like my heart wants to like him, but my brain is telling me that like I'm not gonna enjoy like his play style. All right, we have 78% of the votes voting his Thor event to be in C tier, so we're just gonna leave it here in the C tier. All right, so we have the Thor event in the C tier here. Okay, let's rank. Ooh, let's rank Amadeus Cho, guys. Amadeus Cho might be. Is it his other card than the other card we talked about? The research generator. Amadeus Cho is a 2-cost ally, 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 hit points. Force interrupt though. When a minion would attack you, it attacks Amadeus Cho instead. This is only for minions. And you can always defend the attack, right? So even though the main attack is going at Amadeus Cho, you can exhaust yourself to defend and block attack for Amadeus Cho. As an action, though, you can exhaust Amadeus Cho, draw 1 card. So it's basically a 2-cost Avengers Mansion that takes up an ally slot. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm basically never going to use the Thor or attack activation with him. We also want to draw the card. I feel like he's very good. I feel like he's S tier. I feel like he's S tier. I mean, said when the villain would attack you, attacks Amadeus Cho instead. That'd still be fine because you can still chump block with like another ally. But I think that would make this card worse. It's nice that it says only whenever a minion would attack you. I think that does kind of hurt with the defeat the Hydra attachment though. And you probably don't want a bunch of minions with Hercules because then they'll Amadeus Cho. But I think if we can clear out the minion board, I think he's very good. So let's jump back over to tier. I think he's an S tier card. I think he's awesome. Is he? I'll put him top S tier, guys. I think okay. I think once you get one gift in play, I think Olympus is just straight up better, like then on. But Amadeus Cho works on turn 1. Like he'll draw you a card on turn 1, which is nice. I feel like since none of Hercules' cards help him out before he gets any gifts, I think this is kind of like pretty pivotal, right? I'm not sure. Let me start a poll here and then ask you guys. I'm not gonna have that many options on this one, I think. So how strong is Amadeus Cho? And what I'll do here for the poll options is we'll do top of S, bottom of S, because I feel like that's where a lot of the votes are going to go. And then I'll have A and B. So we're not even going to put C or D because I don't think anyone thinks it's a C or D level ally. I think it's pretty good. So if you guys vote for top of S, now put them in front of Olympus or behind it. And if the majority of votes are in S, though, I'll still leave them in S tier, even if like because we have 2 different poll options for S tier. So it'll just kind of see where you guys vote for it. All right. Let me catch up with chat. Evan Beowulf says he's a very upgrade focused here. Yeah. Like that's another thing. I don't think that's good for him to be such a heavily upgrade focused hero. Like we've seen more of the cards now, and they're all like upgrades. And even though they're cheap, like 1-cost upgrades, like he needs to do other stuff. He needs like events. He needs events that don't need him to have gifts in play, so he can defeat the minion, the side scheme, and like help him defend, right? So like I'm not a big fan of the upgrade focus hero for Hercules. He seems to be like someone that doesn't want that. And don't get me wrong, I love upgrade focus heroes. I just think that Hercules needs more of those powerful like events. Yeah. Mela says Amadeus Cho is pretty amazing. Yeah, he's a pretty good ally. Where you guys have the vote right now? So we have 12% of the votes in A tier, okay, and 38% bottom of S and 50% top of S. So it seems like I'll probably end up putting him in the top of S here. Seems like you guys agree with me, which is cool. I think on deck building, he won't benefit on allies. He will need more events. On deck building, he won't benefit on allies. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like, think it's like a huge frustration for me right now thinking about how to deck build for him because I agree that he won't benefit as much on allies. He needs like more of like a oomph from the events, but I think that he still will benefit from allies because like possibly still more than the events because of the randomization of the labors, right? If I have an ally, that ally can thwart the side scheme labor or attack the minion labor. if I only have like strong attack events and I get the freaking side scheme labor, like what am I gonna do? And if I don't have like Thor events in my hand and I get the stupid, the stupid minion labor, like what am I gonna do, right? If I could at least dictate which labor that I'm getting, like I think that the events would be a lot better. But the fact that I don't know, I need the versatility of the ally to be able to Thor and attack. All right, I need that versatility and to be able to block as well is huge because I'm gonna be taking damage from that minion, right? So I don't know. Like it's things like I think on paper he does want the events, but then he still wants the allies with versatility. Super tough. Um oh, Wisdom Sniper says Hercules the only one. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. He's the only one that can thwart or attack the labors. You're right, you're right. His allies can't do anything. Yeah. Forgetting I said I was completely yeah, true. Yeah, so I guess that sucks. So he's depending on the events. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm completely wrong, guys. Ed Beowulf, you are correct. Yeah, he needs the events. He has to do everything himself. Yeah, he needs the events. Thank you, Wasteland, for correcting me on that. Yeah, he has to do everything himself. Yeah, I don't, because then, like, you put a bunch of Thor events, and then you have like the minion, like the Thor events are all dead cards. So it's like, what is he gonna do about that? I don't know, guys. And he needs to defend himself as well. Maybe protection, perfect. But then, like, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. Let me catch up here on chat though. Wasteland says him being upgrade focused as far as his kit gives him more room to add the events he needs to clear labors. Gives him more room to add the events he needs to clear the labors. True. The problem is the aspect card events are just not as good as identity specific events, right? Like if we're talking about thwarting, um, like okay, if we think about like justice, like I think for justice is still one of the best like curved thwart events, right? Like 4 threat with the mental kicker for 2 cost. Like I that's gonna be like the best card for him, right? Because anything else doesn't remove enough threat, right? You have the crisis averted as well, but like that's 3 costs. Um, like yeah, I don't know. Like clear areas, obviously like a good card, but like 2 threat move doesn't help him with that side scheme. And then for like aggression events, I think my favorite one would probably be Clobber for him because at least it's cheap. He can recur it and play it again. Something like an uppercut like uppercut is just way too expensive, right? It's the same as his actual identity like one. So I don't know. I don't know what he could do for like events. Evo says aspect cards are going to be better for Herc until he gets at least 1 gift. I think is what you're saying. Pretty sad, and we'll probably only play in multiplayer. Yeah, at least yeah. I mean, I'm gonna try him a lot in solo. I'm gonna see what builds I can do to like make him work, but he might just be a more multiplayer type of hero. How strong is Amadeus Cho? You guys vote for 60%, top of S tier, so we're gonna keep him right there. You guys agree with me? So yeah, Amadeus Cho there. Definitely, I think the best card in his kit. I thought it was Olympus, but doing the tier list and evaluating now, I think that Amadeus Cho is actually his best card. All right, let's rank some more cards here. Okay, let's do share this. Why don't we rank his attack event? So 3 cost attack event, the gift of battle, reduce the cost to play this card by 1 for each gift card you control. Hero action, do 5 damage to enemy. I think this is strictly worse than Thor event, right? Because the Thor event here that we put in C tier is 3 for 4 and then 0 for 4 with 3 gifts. This is 3 for 5, which is worse because damage is not like worth as much as thwarting. And then it could be 0 for 5. But I feel like 0 for 4 threat removal is better, right? Especially because he has a high attack set himself, so he can do damage with his like swings, and he has this like buff his basic attack as well. Obviously, it's an amazing card once you got 3 gifts, and I think it's amazing with 2 gifts. Yeah, because if it's 1 cost for 5 damage, that's good. 2 costs for 5 though, I think that's solid. I think that's a right around B tier for me. And then 3 is bad. Yeah, so I think for me, I'm gonna put the Gift of Battle behind the Thor event, guys. Let me know what you guys think about that. I feel like it's situational as well, right? Situational for if he gets enough gifts, it's good. Until then, it's not gonna be as good. So let me do a poll and see what you guys think. So let's see. How strong is Herc's attack event? And I'm not gonna do S tier because you guys did not vote for the Thor event to be in S tier, so I'm assuming you guys have a similar take on this one. Let's see what chat says. Okay, let me catch up here. Let me see. Ready archetype. Ooh, I think I'm kind of behind here. Sorry guys. Let me catch up here on chat. Okay. Wasteland Sniper says Hercules is the only one who can Thor attack. Okay, yeah. That I read already. The Olap says Amadeus Cho is super interesting. I like the mechanic that you have to defend him. Yeah, I see ready for action being a Hercules leadership staple. Yeah, that would be interesting. Actually, let me take a look at the labor again. When the villain, okay. I was hoping maybe it says when an enemy would attack, because then you can block minion hits and be super chill. But it does say when the villain would attack Hercules. So Hercules must defend an ally from the villain attack, not from a minion attack, to get these counters off. Dang. Yeah, I mean, I was if it was a minion, that'd be in my opinion. Ebbet Beowulf says, I think the problem is how the villains work. Usually the villain starts with a lot of pressure and usually don't grow on difficult as same as hero. Yeah, I think that's like also a downside for Hercules. Like the first turns are always the most tough, and Hercules has a worser first turn and a better late game, right? Winston Sniper says, however much of an issue that seems, is very the fact that he has to do labors himself. Yeah, true. I definitely agree with that. I think that it's a nice touch that he has to do himself. Yeah, just makes it like weaker, like in a mechanical sense, but thematically, I think that's good. Mela says, I just don't see him working without some strong Thor defense. All he has is 2 copies of Wisdom Athena. Yeah, that's all he has. Yeah, that almost makes me feel like if you're playing Soul, you have to do justice for him, right? I don't know. Epic Beowulf says, ready archetype on protection, maybe. Repurpose what doesn't kill me. Yeah, I think that's good. It's just he needs thwarting. And his readies for his thwart stat of just 1 is tough. Like if he had 2 thwart, that'll help him out a lot. I really wish he had 2 thwart. Mela says, so my gut feeling would be to build him with aspect-based thwarting options. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Evo says, relentless assault and aggression for me. Oh, yeah. Okay, relentless assault is probably the best. Yeah, I feel like you have to relentless assault with Hercules if you're playing him in aggression, right? Yeah, because that's super cheap, right? That relentless assault, it's 2 costs for 5 damage to a minion. I think that he will value that a lot more. There are a lot of heroes that want to do like the flexibility of having villain damage. He wants the minion damage for that. Yeah, that will be very, very good. Yeah, for that defeat the Hydra attachment. The Olaf says Herc will be a protection king. He could get retired 5, and he also has ways to reduce damage. Yeah, I think he's super like protection looks like the build that I was thinking that would be like very fun with him. Probably the most fun. I just don't know how I can get built out. I think in multiplayer, where the your friend can help you out and like deal with a lot of pressure, protection Herc would be very fun because the protection builds require even more upgrades, and Hercules already has so many upgrades that he wants. I feel like that's the issue with that. Crunk for Life says his labor gets assault right, so that you can use his attack to thwart. I may be mistaken. His labor gets assault. Oh, does it? Does it have assault? I'm like not reading good. Oh yeah. Attached side scene gains assault. Okay, so he can use his attack stat to thwart this. It's just that he can't use attack stat for like other side scene in the main scheme. Okay, that definitely helps a lot. Yeah, to build a thwart for 3 from it, I think that's pretty good. Man, I need to read better, guys. You know me, I'm not good at reading here on cards. Yeah, very, very good point there. Thank you, Crunk for Life, for that clarification. Mela says, never mind, that's the case. Wisdom Sniper says, yeah, his side scheme labor is assault. Yeah. Evo says, I agree with the Olaps. I think he'll be best at protection due to the obligation labor, insane retaliate, and readying for his big base attacks. Yeah, I think protection's probably maybe the strongest built outboard. I feel like Justice might be the best in true solo to like help him get past those initial things, though. I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be tough because the upgrades in protection that you need, in addition to the upgrades that you want to play for Hercules, I feel like just so much. Bill says one way or another archetype. Yeah, I think it's like that side scheme from one way or another has to be super weak because it has to be something that Hercules just leaves in play because I don't think he can focus on that side scheme if he one way or another something. Yeah, I think that's the only issue. Mela says, of course, he still needs a lot of help with thwart, but thank goodness the labor is fine to attack. Yeah. Thank you guys for pointing that out. That's a huge, huge thing that you can assault the side scheme and use the attack stat to thwart it out. Yeah, that's a huge thing. Because then let me see. Like it'll probably have like around 8 threat in true solo, right? Or just 8 threat in general, not even true solo, because it doesn't scale. So it's 8 threat. Hercules thwarts once from it. Drop for 3, he can drop to like 5, and maybe thwart 2 more times with activation can clear it off. So you get rays with this. So maybe protection the rays would be useful, but turn 1 it's tough. Like it's really gonna be what doesn't kill me. So he has to take damage for that. I don't know. It's definitely a tough one. Uh Let me see. The Olop says, "Does Herc have any ability to confuse or stun?" He does not. He does not. I don't necessarily mind that. I think it would definitely help out a lot in true solo, of course. But I think that I because obviously it doesn't help out with steady or star as much. Um, he just really has to do it himself, which is fine. Yeah, I think it's not that bad of an issue to not have the center confused. Comfort Life says, I really don't think he has a bad aspect. Honestly, he just builds differently depending on aspect. That's another really cool point as well. I think that he'll look very, very different across every single aspect, which is pretty interesting and fun. So I think that's a good highlight for Hercules. I think that he's definitely a multiplayer oriented hero. And depending on which, like your build changes entirely how he plays. I think that's very, very cool. So definitely excited for design there. But yeah. What do you guys have in the vote here, guys? We have 55% B tier. Okay, so we're gonna bump up the attack event. You guys think the attack event is better than the authority event then? I'm gonna just for time's sake, I'm gonna put where I think it goes. I'm gonna put it in the bottom B tier because I honestly still think the authority event is better, but you guys want it to be in B tier, so we'll put it here. But I just put in the last in the B tier here just because, yeah, I don't think it's the best still. Yeah, I mean, yeah. All right, let's rank another card, guys. All right, let's see here. Why don't we do one of the new cards that was revealed today? So let's see here. Where are the cards? Okay, we have the Golden Mace. Let's look at the Golden Mace here. It's a 1 cost upgrade. It's restricted. Has Olympus in a weapon trait. So this is a weapon that you can pop out with like I forgot the name of the side scheme. The aggression side scheme that helps you get a weapon in play. Here interrupt. When Hercules makes a basic attack, you get exhaust the Golden Mace. Hercules gets +1 attack, force attack for each gift card you control. The attack gains overkill. Okay, so with no gifts, it just gives him overkill for a 1 cost upgrade. I don't think that's good. I think the 1 cost upgrade for overkill is not bad, but I think that it's not good for Hercules if you're looking at that with a 0 gift mindset because I don't care about doing damage to the villain right now. Right? Like the overkill does not matter to me. I care about doing more damage to minions. So yeah, I think that that's not good with 0 gifts. Right? The overkill is good, but not at 0 gifts because I'm not ready to do villain damage. I think that if you have 1 gift, you get +1 attack for your basic attack, and you have overkill on that, so you're swinging for 4. I think it already becomes good. Yeah, it becomes good. Yeah, yeah. I think at 1 gift, it's already solid, and then at 2 gifts, it's even better. And at 3 gifts, I mean, its highest potential, you get +3 attack for a basic attack and attack against overkill. So no, that's very good. Then you're swinging for 6, right? And you can buff his attack even more with like this thing. So yeah, I think if you're swinging for 6 with overkill, that's very, very nice. And then you can ready it as well, right? He has a card to ready his stuff. Let's hop back over to Hall of Heroes. Where did I see the thing? Here, right? The Son of Zeus. You can ready up Hercules, and if you have 1 gift, you can ready an identity specific upgrade control. So I feel like what I want to ready most of the time is the mace here, right? Because this only happens for 1 basic attack per turn because you have to exhaust it. But if you constantly get the raise from that, I think that's very good. So yeah, I think that's one of his better upgrades here, the Golden Mace. So we're gonna put the Golden Mace. Let me think here. I think it's better than aspect cards, right? So at least B. Is it amazing? I think it's amazing. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I put it in front of all these gifts here though, because I'm not a big fan of the gifts. You guys had it here in the A tier, but yeah. So let's see what chat says on this. Um, Let me see here. How strong is the Golden Mace? Let's see what you guys say. So we'll do S, A, B, C, or D, and then I'll catch up here on chat. All right. Let me see. Where am I with chat? Wasteland Sniper says it is good to keep in mind that the labor minion can only take damage from attacks, and the labor side skin can only lose threat by actual thwarting. So retaliate won't help there. Yeah, good point there. Yeah, we won't be able to use like, weird upgrades that aren't attack damage to do damage, right? Like Plan B, I believe is not attack, so that can't do damage to the minion. And you can't have like beat caught, take off threat off the side skin. It has to be like actual thwarts by Hercules. That's a good point to keep in mind. Evil says protection with readies and limitless stamina to attack the scheme or minion. Oh yeah, limitless stamina probably has to be an auto clue with Hercules because he can get extra activations on the minion and extra readies to defend potentially with like protection with taunt, right? And also readies to trigger the assault on the side scheme. Yeah, good point there. Indomitable to defend Cho, ready for a fight for increased hand size. Yeah, maybe protection might. You know what? That's a really good point. Maybe protection might be it. I just feel like with protection though, the other stuff that I need is like all upgrades. So I don't know. I'm still a little bit iffy on that, but I think I don't know. I think limitless stamina definitely has to be in Hercules. That card is he's got to get a reprint, right? I'm assuming he's gonna come with a reprint. I'm calling it right now. Okay. My prediction, Hercules has a reprint of limitless. It's already announced, actually, guys. It may already be in an article, so maybe I'm predicting nothing. But I feel like if it's not already been announced, he comes with a reprint of limitless stamina for sure. Because I think that's an all include for him. And it's currently out of print, right? Because limitless stamina came in what? In Spider, right? Or Valkyrie? I believe Spider. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's gotta be back. Epic Beowulf says 2 multitasking, 2 clear the area, 2 infiltration, 2 one or another for the the justice build, right? Yeah. A lot of threat removal is necessary. The Olaf says, as someone who plays hard villains on expert, how do you think you'll have to build Herc to play that level? Yeah, that's a question, right? That's a question I'm like trying to think about, right? I right now I'm leaning towards justice. I think maybe something similar to what Beowulf said here, right? Like one way or another to pull like the weakest side scheme in the encounter deck, and like draw me some cards so I can help deal with my labor because I need more resource to deal with that. Yeah, maybe like a face to pass, to just draw more cards, get like a minion out. I think limitless stamina is definitely needed as well. I think in protection seems to have like the best built out board, but I'm just worried about getting there because I think protection is also like one of the slowest aspects as well. So I feel like justice and having a lot of the removal is the way that I have to go to play out like the more difficult villains. Wasteland Sniper says it was SPDR with limitless stamina. Thank you. Thank you, Evo, also clarifying that SPDR has limitless stamina. Evo says and unshakable. Yeah, but I probably want to use it. Yeah. I think Hercules is not. I agree with Evo here. I don't think he needs unshakable because he has a gift that gives him steady anyways. Invited Homie says, I don't have limitless stamina, so I hope so, and they should add the Source Supreme. That's funny. Yeah, I hope they add the Source Supreme to the Hercules pack because we need more copies of that card. When's the next Mystic Hero? Is there a Mystic Hero that's coming in Defender's Wave, guys? I think Ironheart is Mystic, right? So Ironheart's gotta have the Sorcerer Supreme. Like he's gotta have it. I think. Sorry, not Ironheart. Iron Fist. Sorry, guys. I messed up the names because of Iron. But yeah, I think Iron Fist. He's Mystic. I think that I'm calling now, guys. Prediction: Iron Fist is gonna come with a reprint of Sorcerer Supreme, and Hercules is coming with a reprint of Limitless Stamina. Those are my bold 2026 predictions. Should we do a prediction video for a live stream, guys? That might be kind of fun. But yeah, I am like super confident that Limitless Stamina will be reprinted in Hercules, and I'm very confident that Source Supreme will be reprinted in Iron Fist. Yeah. Let me see. Epic Beowulf says, I think leadership is the one weakest for him. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe leadership might be the weakest for him. It's tough because like it's the weakest for him to clear off his labors, but maybe leadership might be useful because it's so powerful to help the allies deal with the actual main scheme and other side schemes and other minions, right? And to help them defend. And then it'll just give him more time to slowly do his stuff. So I can see that being just because leadership is so much like so powerful. Like I feel like that might be a way, like kind of like multiplayer, but like instead of the other players helping you deal with the main scheme, it's the allies and Hercules dealing with his stuff. So Hercules summons allies, you know, he's doing the labors, and the allies to help him deal with the actual scenario. Okay, let me do the poll here, guys. So you guys agree with me? 62% of the votes here voting for the golden mace to beat A tier. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it right here because you guys agree with me. Okay, let's do the other card that was reviewed today. We have where is it here? Oh, the Prince of Power. So this is the 15 card in Hercules kit. It's a 1-cost upgrade, another upgrade here. As a hero response after Hercules attacks and defeats an enemy, you can exhaust the Prince of Power, and you can heal 1 damage from Hercules for each point of excess damage dealt to that enemy by the attack. I believe that there's a card. Let me pull it up. I believe there's an aggression card. Is it called Moment of Triumph? Yeah, I think it's this card. Yeah, okay. So share tab. Okay. So this card right here, it's a similar thing, right? 0-cost aggression event. Hero response after you attack and defeat an enemy. So you have to defeat the enemy with Hercules' own attack. Heal 1 damage from your hero for each point of excess damage dealt to the enemy by that attack. So yeah, I am not a big fan of this card. I don't think I've ever played this card. Maybe like once. I don't even remember if I have. So personally, I don't know if an upgrade does a similar thing is that good. Actually, no. Wait, hold up. I think it's way better as an upgrade. I think that as an upgrade, it's way better than as an event because now it's on demand, and you can heal for the excess damage. Hercules can build up his attack so much with the mace that we just saw, right? He can get up to like 6 attack. So late game, you don't have to flip down anymore. You can just stay up in hero form. So like, I don't think he has to flip down. So I actually think this card is actually very good, guys. Actually, I mean, obviously, it's not good early on, or is it? It's okay. So I'm thinking like for that first minion that Hercules gets with his labor, this card can help him heal. But I don't even think it's that useful because once he defeats the labor, he can flip down for free and get it ready up, and he can heal then and there. And then I think that for you need to do excess damage to the enemy. Guys, I'm struggling early game to just like defeat the enemy, period. I'm not worrying about excess damage, right? So I think if I'm not worrying about excess damage, because I just want to kill the minion like with everything that I can. And like I don't think it's gonna be as good there. I think this is another card. This kind of stinks because this card I think is so much better late game for Hercules once his attack is built out more and he can more easily play like cheaper attack events with his better economy late game. So yeah, this keeps him up late game. Like late game, he's just gonna be like regenerating like everything and healing so much, and he'll never die. So I think it's a good card. I think early game is not as good. I'm gonna put it in the B tier. I think that's a fair spot for it. I put it in front of the attack event, and I don't know. I think it's better than this. I'm gonna put it at top B tier, guys. I don't know. What do you guys think about the upgrade here, Prince of Power? So let me do another poll here for you guys. How strong is Prince of Power? And we'll do S, A, B. I don't think it's C or D, right? But I'll have that as a poll option for you guys. And wherever you guys vote, I'm gonna be the one to determine where it goes in the list, just to save some time. But you guys determine in which tier it goes. I think that's a fair democracy. Democracy, right? Yeah, couldn't say the word. Okay, where are we at here with chat? So too bad you can't double steady in the start. That would be really cool. I wouldn't mind that as a mechanic though, right? If the enemy has steady from 2 different sources, they gain stalwart. That would be so cool. I feel that would not even break the game. Hopefully in the future rules, like rules guide, they actually add that. I really like that idea. That's a very cool idea. Evan Beowulf says prediction video sounds fun. Okay, I'll keep it in mind. I just got to figure a way to format it, but that would be a fun video too. Evan Beowulf says, but he doesn't have good economy to play a lot of allies and his upgrades. He doesn't have good economy. True. I mean, it's like the recursion from leadership. Yeah, I mean, you're right. He doesn't focus more on upgrades, so it's definitely a tough one. The Olap says Sorcerer Supreme is cool, but there are so few mystic heroes. It's like they released. They overdid it with Doctor Strange, and now have to stay away from it. The thing is, I don't think Sorcerer Supreme is like like this might be a hot take. I don't think Sorcerer Supreme is like the strongest card in the game. I think it's a good card. I think that like if I had the economy to play a Sorcerer Supreme or like I don't know, like even a Queen Care or a Helicarrier, I think in a mansion, I value the other three more. Sorcerer Supreme is cheaper, but because I like to flip down so much, it's not giving me extra card whenever I'm down in Alter Ego and drawing back up to my Alter Ego hand size, right? So, like, I see it similar to like Asgard, like Thor has the Asgard card, which gives him +1 hand size. I usually prioritize all the other stuff over that because the +1 hand size doesn't help me the turn that I play it, and I actually want that tempo bump on the turn I play, right? So the moment that I play a Helicarrier, I can exhaust immediately, and on that turn that I play, and then get the cost reduction. Versus for the what you got for Supreme, whenever I play it, I mean I get the +1 hand size in hero form, but then I don't get anything else that turn, right? So I think it's definitely a super good card because it's so cheap, but it's not like I think that it's overhyped in terms of how the community sees how good that card is. Evo says maybe Herc tanks villain hits and you just uh, hard to ignore when you defend for for Amadeus Cho against minions. Since Hercules tanks the hits, what doesn't kill me? Yeah, yeah. I mean that's definitely a good case for protection for him. Current for Life says I think it's good from turn 3 onwards. Are you talking about the Prince of Power for him? Evo says Sinclair hidden base ready for fight for survival. Yo, yeah, hidden base is a good shout out too. Ready for fight is good for him too. Nar Antlers, welcome to the chat. Hey, I made it. Yeah, dude, welcome, welcome. We're almost done here though, but I'm glad to have you with us. The Olops says I would really love some Olympus basic cards. Oh yeah, that would be very good. That would be a good way to where you power up Hercules, but then you don't like break the game, right? Because it's just cards only Hercules can use. Have we seen the Olympus keyword in cards outside of Herc? I don't think we have. I don't think there's any other Olympus card, but let me know down in the chat, guys, if you guys do know any. But I think Hercules is the only Olympus hero with the only Olympus cards in his kit. Uh, Crunk for Life says Herc might love follow through as well. I might put a copy or two in the deck. Follow through. What does that do again, guys? I don't know that card. Follow through here. I know it's a super early card, right? Let me see. Share this tab. When your heroes attack deals any amount of excess damage, increase the amount by. Oh yeah, that'll help him. I remember you can have 3 copies of this card, right? So then he can get a lot more healing, from that Prince of Power, right? That might be interesting. That might be a very fun build to play for Hercules here. Let's share back over here and let me check the poll. You guys vote for A tier, 67%. So we're gonna bump it up to A tier. I think it's not as good as the Mace, but yeah, I think it's better than these things. So I think A tier is a fair spot for the Prince of Power there. All right, let's rank another card, and then we have 4 more cards left, guys. All right, let's share the tab here. Oh, these are all the 0-cost upgrades. Okay, let's do the Son of Zeus here first. So it's a 2-cost event. How many copies of this card does he have? It's number 5 in his kit. So what's the next number that we got? Number 5. Number 7 is a Wisdom of Athena. So I think this is 5 and 6. So I think he has 2 copies of the Son of Zeus. What did I just say? In his kit. So it's a 2-cost event. Hero action ready Hercules. Then if you have a gift, you can do more of effect for it. So I think that this is actually a really good card, right? A 2-cost ready is not as good as limited stamina, which Hercules does have access to, and I think it's an all include for him. But I'm talking about like the minimum to card, right? So the bare minimum is just raise Hercules. So it just does that. Is not as good as limited stamina, but I think a 2-cost ready is pretty good for an aspect. Like if that was an aspect card, like we'd be dying to play it, right? Like compared to like tenacity, right? So I think that that's already actually very good. And if you have 1 gift, you can ready up an identity specific upgrade control, which I think is the worst of the effects. I think I prefer draw a card, gain tough. I think that to ready up an identity specific upgrade is better for late game to really pop off with the golden mace. So I kind of wish the ores were swapped here to draw a card with 1 gift, because that's when I need the card draw the most. And whenever I have 3 gifts, I already have like a 0-cost attack event, 0-cost story event, so I don't need the card draw as much. The tough could be very good as well. Yeah, I think that it's a solid card. Let's share this tab here. I think that it has a high floor. I think that its floor is already top of B tier, and the fact that it gets so many different effects, I think that it goes in amazing for me at the top of A tier. Just because I think the floor is better than these other cards here, right? To get a 2-cost ready, you can swing for 3 with Hercules with the ready. to attack that minion, or you can assault the side scheme and Thor for 3 as well. So I feel like the readiness kit is just good, right? So what do you guys think about Son of Zeus? Let's do another poll here for you guys. How strong is Son of Zeus? So we'll do S, A, B, and C, and we'll see what you guys say about that. Okay, let me catch up here on chat. So, let me see. Beowulf says, I don't have Doctor Strange, and every time I play a Mystic character, they are still awesome. Sorcerer Supreme is overhyped. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely play Adam Warlock decks where I never even put in the Sorcerer Supreme, and I play decks where I don't include it as well. So, Crunk for Life, Prince of Power. Yeah, Prince of Power. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, from what you're talking about a little bit earlier. The Olops and Jason Water. Yeah, I can't last these streams, guys. I can't talk for that long. The Olops says Follow Through is a super fun card to build around. Yeah. I think that's a really cool callback to like an older card. Crunk for Life says raiding the maze early could be important. Swinging for 4 twice with overkill is nothing to overlook. Yeah, I think that it's just I don't care about the overkill that much early game, right? Because Hercules needs to build out anyways. I think that it's just much more worth it to get more attack and do more damage immediately. Yeah, so I see what you're saying though. Like definitely if you have like one gift and you get the +1 attack, it's a lot better. Yeah. Um, let me see. You guys, 62% of the votes on A tier. Yeah, so I think I'll just keep Son of Zeus here at top A tier because I think you guys agree with that. Yeah, we have I think that's not very controversial here. Okay, let's rank his last 3 cards, guys. I'm going to go through these a little bit more quickly because I cannot speak for much longer. Okay, I don't know. I'm just not good at talking for a very long time. I feel like at the ends of these streams, I start slurring words more. And yeah, okay. So we have these 3 zero cost upgrades here. Let's do this one first because I believe he has 2 copies of the line of Olympus in his kit. This one's temporary. Zero cost upgrade. Discard his card at the end of the round. Your hero gets +1 Thor, +1 attack, and +1 defense. This is similar to Doctor Strange has something like that, right? Oh, guys, sorry, I'm not sharing the tab. Okay, I think Doctor Strange has a similar card to this. What is his card called, guys? Dang, I don't remember. Okay, let me pull it up. Doctor Strange. I think it's called enhancements. Let me look up like physical enhancements or something like that. Enhancement. Let me look that up on Hall of Heroes. All right, okay, here we go. Magical enhancements. Oh, but this is 1 cost. So this card is probably Doctor Strange's worst card. I don't think I've ever played. I probably played this 1 time. 1 cost upgrade, you get +1 Thor, +1 attack, +1 defense. When the round ends, you discard it. So yeah, this is the exact same thing as Hercules card. Except he also has 2 copies. I think Strange has 2 copies of that card as well. So guys, is this power creep? Is this our first like pure power creep card right here? The line of Olympus is strictly power creeping the magical enhancements from Doctor Strange. I mean, it is and isn't, right? With the context of this card is that it's for Hercules, so it's a lot better for Hercules than with Strange, obviously, and Hercules needs it a lot more because Strange does not really care about his basic stats, and Hercules really needs his basic stats here, right? For the assault, to take care of the minion from this labor and the side scheme here, and even to defend as well. So I think it's a decent card. Yeah, I mean, 0 cost, you can just play it and just get the bonus. I think that's actually pretty good for his kit. And I have 2 copies of it. You can play both of them at once. So definitely better than aspect cards. I think it's amazing, actually. I think it's nice to just have that +1 attack when you need it, right? So I think I actually have it above the Golden Maze. I don't know if that's a hot take, though. Let me see what you guys say about that. So what is this upgrade called? Oh man, sorry guys. See, I'm not doing good. I'm not a professional streamer. I was sharing this tab. I ended up putting this in the A tier. I was like doing this, but I have an A tier here. The Lion of Olympus. So let me see. How strong is Lion of Olympus? Sorry guys, I'm planning on getting better at streaming as I do more reps of this. But let's see what you guys have it. I feel like it's pretty decent, right? Definitely let me know in the chat if you guys agree or disagree and some cases for it. All right. Evo says line is another reason that he really wants a ready build. True, true. Yeah. I think yeah, I mean, it's temporary, but definitely getting more readies with this, with your like super buffed up stats, is going to be really good for Hercules. Definitely making a good case for him to be in protection here. Yeah, I have 75% of the votes here voting for the line of Olympus to be an A tier. I think that's a good spot. This is like really surprising, guys, because a lot of his cards are an A tier. I think he has like a very high curve for cards here, surprisingly. Well, I guess maybe we should like not consider the gifts as much as a part of like his cards. It makes it look more like inflated, I guess, like the A tier. So maybe we like block this out. It's only like 4 cards there. But yeah, we'll like leave this here and then I'll like take this off the list, these 3 cards, and see kind of like what his curve is looking like. But it's looking like he has a lot of really good cards here. So maybe I am underestimating him. Hopefully I am. Because I want him to be fun and powerful. But yeah, I'm just a little bit down on him. Okay, let's go over the next card. The next card as you guys vote, and I'll leave the poll running here a little bit longer. All right, let's do the meme card here. Herc's Helm, 0 cost upgrade as a hero interrupt defense. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, is a defense keyword. Did I forget that I had that? When the villain attacks, exhaust Hercules' helmet. Reduce the amount of damage he takes from attack by 1. Wait a minute. So for protect humanity here, when the villain attacks. So okay, wait, hold up. That's actually really good, because now Herc does not have to exhaust. So I've read this more here. I think I forgot that this card did this. It has a defense keyword, so when you trigger this, it counts as Hercules defending, and it draws the attack towards him. So with Protect Humanity, force interrupt when the villain would attack. Choose one of your allies. So the force interrupt timing means that this will trigger first. This takes priority. So attack automatically goes towards your ally, right? So let's say it's going towards Amadeus Cho. Then the villain will attack the ally instead. Then you can proc this here interrupt here after the force interrupt. It's one that's attacking. Still the same time window for this when a villain would attack Hercules, right? Attack it right now. You now exhaust the helm, and because it's a defense card, you redirect attack towards Hercules. And in multiplayer, you can draw any attack towards him without exhausting, like on demand. So attack is drawn towards Hercules now. You reduce the amount of damage it does by 1. So now Hercules is officially defending without exhausting, and he's reducing damage by 1. This does not work for minions though, only for the villain. But now when you do that, the attack is drawn towards Hercules, and after the attack resolves, if Hercules defended, which he did, even though he doesn't have to exhaust to defend, he's still defending with this. You can remove a labor counter from here. This is S tier. I think this is S tier. I think that this card is freaking amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and say it's not as good as these cards because it's S tier in like allowing Hercules to defend. But this is a low-key super hype card, right? Am I tripping? Am I okay? So the poll here, you guys have A tier, 80% of the vote here for the line of Olympus. So I'm gonna keep this right here. But what about Herc's Helm, guys? Am I missing something, or is that like one of the best cards in his kit? Rank Herc's Helm. Let's see what you guys think about that. I feel this card is so good. All right. And let me see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Evo says F tier artwork. Yeah. The artwork, I mean, it's a fun meme for people that like memes, I guess. Probably, yeah, but not the coolest artwork. Corn for Life says, yup, you only have to exhaust the helm to defend for the labor. Then if an assault happens, you can defend twice and get 2 labors off. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like Hercules can defend without exhausting with his Herc's Helm here and reduces the damage. And it's 0 cost. I think that's like the craziest thing. Like a 0 cost upgrade on demand that allows you to defend every single turn. That's crazy. Like you can trigger really like perfect defense stuff, but the problem is you have to take damage for a lot of that stuff. And Herc will probably take some damage if he's not actually defending with something else, right? So, but I think that this leaves room for a lot of like cool possibilities that Hercules can do. So that is a really, really cool card. And I love these synergies here. I think protection might have to be the way to go because then you can build off of this powerful card. The problem is it's 1 card out of the 4 cards in his deck. So like you have to draw it, which is kind of a downside if you want to build everything around this card. But I think that once you get it out, it's pretty nice. I think Herc's Home is top tier, guys. Holy cow. That's shocking. With 56% of votes voting S tier as well. Yeah, I agree, guys. This is a crazy card. I'm glad you guys agree with me. Yeah, because I think the big thing that makes this card so good is that defense were right there. If it didn't have this card's like not good at all, right? It's just, I mean, sorry. Okay, it's still really good to reduce the amount of damage, but I think having that defense word right there, like, gives you so much more versatility in how you want to defend with Hercules. And I think that's just massive. Yeah. So I think that's a huge, huge thing for the card. I'm gonna let the poll run a little bit longer. But let me see here with chat. Let's see, Joshua, welcome to the chat. Hey, Web-Warrior, I had a question for you. What are your thoughts on cards like Cameo in the future coming out and completely changing the game, or maybe altering old characters to make them viable? What are my thoughts on cards that came? Well, I think so. Are you talking about like cards that came in terms of like setup cards? Because I think that that is an amazing design space for Mario Champions to introduce us more new setup cards. And I think Cameo is actually very well balanced. I think it's a very, very well balanced card. Um, in the future, coming out and completely changing the game, or maybe altering old characters to make them viable. Yeah. Like, do you mean for Camo specifically? I'm not entirely sure what's your question here, but yeah, I mean, I love stuff that makes older characters better. Like, I think Squared Off was tremendous for Thor, and I just love cards like that that make like the older heroes like a lot better. So yeah, I'm trying to think of. I think Firepower is very good for Black Panther as well. So I think there's a lot of new cards that do that. Joshua says yes, setup cards. Yeah, yeah, setup cards, guys. We need more setup cards. I think that is a huge addition to the game, Mario Champions, and I think setup cards are freaking amazing. So yeah, I am very excited to see more setup cards in the game. And if you guys watch my review video, I think that cards that heal the villain and give you an effect, that is a really cool archetype that I really want to see in like Justice or Protection, right? So like the Battlefield Benevolence, heal 2 damage from the villain or from enemy, and then like confuse enemy. I think that's awesome. I could also see something like, for example, like, heal 3 damage from the villain and then remove 3 threat from a scheme for like a 1 cost like Thor event, or like a 0 cost Thor event. Like, that would be so fun because the villain is like, you're healing them. So then like they're kind of like distracted and you can like thwart from like a scheme, like, and like mess up their schemes. Like, that's so cool. Like, I really want to see that archetype in Justice, just because I feel like Justice is missing like the new archetypes that like leadership, protection, and aggression got. I feel like Justice doesn't really have anything new. But I think that might fit more for protection. But yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of a tangent there. But yeah, setup cards. I really, really want to see more stuff for setup cards. Crunk for life. Can also play taunt during hero phase if you have the labor out with the helm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Taunt is not even better like than what I thought. So shouts to everyone that shouted out taunt earlier in the chat, guys. I missed the helmet could like defend for that. That's pretty nice. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we have 45% of the votes here in S tier, 45 in A, and 9% in B. I'm gonna be a tiebreaker, guys, because it's my stream, so I can cheat a little bit here. I'm gonna keep the Herc's Home in S tier. I think it's that good. So yeah. Yeah, okay. So let's do the last card here. The Gauntlets of Hercules, 0 cost upgrade. Here, interrupt. When Hercules defends against an attack, you can exhaust the gauntlets. He gains retaliate 1 for that attack for each gift card you control. Okay, this card I don't think it's nearly as good. The retaliate 1, he can get up to retaliate 3. And whenever you get it, on turn 1, it's retaliate 0, right? Another thing I want to note about sorry guys, yeah, I'm sharing the tab here. For Hercules Helm really quickly. This card is good on turn 1 when you have 0 gifts. That's another reason why I think it's so good. For the Gaunts of Hercules, on turn 1 when you have no gifts, it does nothing. You have no retaliate. And I think retaliate is kind of like I think it's good for like change of fortune stuff, obviously, but I think that you need to get built out for that. And I think that whenever for a hero that needs turn one oomph, the retaliate it's like kind of the least valuable stat for him. So I would put this card in the C tier. I think that it's worse than a Thor event. I think that you could definitely build around it, have it be very powerful and very strong. So situational. There are definitely times where it's good, but all the times that it's good, you're very, very built out, and you need that retaliate build. And I think that until then, it's just not going to be that good, unfortunately. Yeah, I think even with the retaliate 3, like obviously that's amazing. That's like very fun, but I think it's more fun than it is powerful, if that makes sense. So I'm putting the bottom C tier. I don't know what you guys think about that. Let's do a poll here for the last one. Let me see. What's it called? Gauntlets. Okay, so how strong are Herc's gauntlets? And I'll do the poll A, B, C, and D. All right. Metaphor, welcome to the chat. Herc seems fun. Yeah, he does seem like a very fun hero. I think in multiplayer, he's going to be a lot more fun to be able to do more stuff and focus on those labors. Now, Antler says there's a floor for Cameo or ceiling. I don't know. Cameo does not work well with SPDR. I tried really hard to make it make sense to get Shuri, but the hand size limits its viability for a Spider. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, I think that it's definitely a tough card. I think for the weaker hand size heroes to lose even more cards on turn one, it's rough. Um, yeah, I don't know who would be. Yeah, I tried it with Spider-Man, and then I have a Thor game coming out, guys. I played it already. I just needed to like make sure there's no mistakes in the playthrough. But I played Thor testing cameo again with Moon Knight recursion. So Moon Knight can summon a minion, stun and confuse it, and then Thor draws 2 cards with Howdy each time the minion comes into play. So yeah, I'm excited to show that video to you guys and see what you guys think to see if cameo is viable in your opinion with that. But yeah, I think that it's more of a fun card for sure, and it definitely has a very, very low floor, but I think the ceiling is also very high. So, I think it's high, but I think we need to see more testing for Cameo before we know. Joshua says, "I would love a setup card for Web Warrior to help Spider out, or for Web Warriors, so you don't have to fish for Web Warrior trade." Oh yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, I think a lot of people. I think I saw this sentiment as well that the Ward Great Web should have been a setup card. Um, but then I think you also have to like minus the card from your hand, right? It had to be similar to Cameo, right? This card comes up part of setup, attached to a spider card you control, and discard a card from your hand. I think that is what you would need for a setup card like that, which is I think pretty balanced and fair, I guess. Maybe discard 2 cards from your hand to gain the web word trait. Yeah, something like that. But I think that's also like a very good idea for a card and very balanced too. Yeah, I think for me the biggest thing is I want balance instead of cards. I'd rather they be more fun than more powerful. And I think discarding cards on turn one is a great way to balance out setup cards. Maybe you can do stuff like add threat to the main scheme, or you can do stuff like take some damage in order to get that setup card into play. I think that's just a lot of really cool design space for that. I just hope that they always keep it balanced. So I think that's very important to not have setup cards be too powerful. Crunk for Life says retaliate 4 with the gift out as well. Oh, is it retaliate 1? Let me see here. Oh, you mean okay, gotcha. This has retaliate 1, but this has retaliate 0 with no gifts. But you're right, because if you have all 3 gifts out, you have a +1 retaliate with the shoot of purpose. So then you have retaliate 4. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean that's definitely the highest retaliate that any hero can get in more champions. Because you can add in Dauntless, retaliate 5. You can add in is there one more card, guys? I'm tripping. Well, I guess Electricide Armor is not retired, but like you get like retired 5 or more probably, right? So yeah, I mean, definitely some very fun builds as possible with Hercules. It just in true solo and the early game. Okay, Evo says gotta run. Thank you so much for joining us in the chat. I think you have convinced me. I think protection might be, if not the strongest way, definitely the most fun way to play Hercules here. So yeah, thank you for the case for him to be in protection. Yeah, Evo. Where are we here with the votes? Ooh, okay, we have 44% of votes voting the gauntlets to be A tier, guys. Holy cow. Okay, I might bump it up then if you guys think it's an A tier level card. Let me know why do you think it's A tier, guys? I want to know your reasoning for that because I just don't see it. Maybe I should have an option for S tier then, because it seems like you guys wanted it to be S tier as well. We have 40% votes A tier now, 30% B, and 30% C. Let me end this poll. I'm gonna do another poll for you guys because I thought no one would vote it to be so high, but since we have so many S tier votes, let me do it again. Gauntlets ranking, and we'll do S tier as an option this time. So sorry for not doing that the first time, guys. I didn't know you guys would think it's so high. Maybe I'm missing something with the gauntlets. So let's rerun the poll here with only S, A, B, and C as the options. Okay. Let me see. Joshua says, "Do you think there would be any card to take away the temporary keyword for Hercules? Take away the temporary keyword. Oh, you mean from the line of Olympus? I don't think so, unfortunately. I think that card is way too powerful if you take it off. If you take out the temporary keyword, because then there's 2 cogs of it. Hercules gets up to 3 thwart, 5 attack, 4 defense, and you can do that, like, without any gifts, right? Yeah. I yeah, because, like, this card does not scale with gifts, so I feel like there's probably no card that's gonna do that. That's too powerful, and if you do this for Cyclops too, if you take off his temper stuff on the villain, that could be pretty powerful as well. So I don't know if they would ever introduce that to take off temporary keywords. Wasteland Sniper says, I do like that his upgrades are so cheap. Really helps to thin his deck out during the first pass so you can get to your events. Oh yeah, true, true, true. Maybe yeah, I think that's another really good case for like his upside, maybe really, really high. Because with that thinned out deck and you're actually playing it, you're just playing those super cheap events over and over again. So maybe that might be a good case for him being stronger than I thought. I've been messing with a Winter Soldier Moon Knight cameo deck. That's a lot of fun. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think Winter Soldier is also really, really good candidate for cameo Moon Knight. I think cameo Moon Knight is just so good for any minion hero, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's just a really I mean, Moon Knight is just one of the most, like, craziest, like, strong and cool and, like, unique allies for a, minion, slaying, deck. Joshua says, I like that idea for Thor and Moon Knight. I would agree on something negative for the set abilities. Can't wait to see Colossus Ally for cam builds. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's going to be a fun one as well. Yeah, yeah, I'm glad you agree with the discard. I think we need something negative for a setup because, like, it's just really going to break the game. So I'm really glad the way that Cameo is designed. I think it's perfectly balanced because anything better, I think, would be too good. I think it has to be like that, and it has to go into your deck versus to your hand. Yeah, so I think that they designed Camo perfectly, so I'm hopeful that future designs with set abilities would be designed good as well. Joshua says, honestly, never been excited for a Nemesis minion, but I want to see Hydra so bad for Herc. Oh yeah, that would be very, very cool. I think he needs that. That'd be super thematic. Crunk for Life says, I think it's not going to be as hard to get through the labors as it may seem. By turn 2, worst 3, you have at least 1 cleared and you get 4 cards ready and flip when you do. Yeah, I hope so. I think ideally it would be that way. The problem is if you think about scenarios like what always goes through my mind is like those more tough difficulties. So like let's say I'm facing Venom Goblin, like he's giving me 3 encounter cards on that first turn. I feel like I might have other stuff to deal with than, like, my labors, right? And then same like Ronin, who's gonna, like, swing for, like, 10 damage on, like, his first attack. Like, I have to deal with so much other stuff. I feel like it might be difficult against the hard difficult scenarios, but against, like, an easier scenario, definitely the labors can be cleared, at an earlier turn. So, okay, you guys voted 80% here, the votes for the gauntlet. So I guess we're gonna bump that up. Man, okay, I'm totally off with that. Okay. You guys didn't tell me why though. So I'm still not sure why, but I'm putting it in the bottom of the A tier here because I don't think it's that good. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Man, okay, Hercules here. So if we remove these gift cards, right? Like he has a still pretty solid curve, right? 3 S tier cards, 5 A tier cards, and then B tier, and then only 1 card that you guys voted to be in C tier. And if we add the gifts where you guys had them, I mean, he looks pretty strong. He's pretty top heavy. Like this curve right here, I feel like it's higher than a lot of heroes. It's not higher than like the Spider-Man curve because I think for that one we had a lot of like S tier. I think this is like around the Wonder Man curve though. Let me go find that video actually, so we compare it to Wonder Man because I thought Wonder Man looked insanely powerful, and this guy did not look like Hercules did not look as strong. But let me pull up that Wonder Man video because where do we have here? Um, let me see here. Okay, let me share this tab here for you guys. Okay, so for the one main list, we had 2 cards in S tier. Hercules has 3, and we had all in the A tier and then 2. Okay, so never mind. It looks like the Wonder Man curve is higher. So yeah, okay. It looks like Wonder Man had a higher curve here. Okay, okay, that's interesting. But I think I was expecting for our tier list for Hercules that the cards would be super duper low, like in the B, C, or D tier. But yeah, you guys shocked me. So this was like a community vote, right? All the cards here were returned by you guys, like in how high that they went, and you guys actually voted for a lot of this to be a lot better than I thought. So that's very interesting. Uh, Let me see. Honestly, never been excited for Nemesis Minion. Yeah, Sam, I've also never been excited for Nemesis Minion, but I'm very excited to see what like Hydra for Herc and like what Nemesis minions he has that he can target with his labor, because that's very cool. Crunk for Life says, I think it's not going to be as hard to get through the labors as it may seem. Wait, sorry guys, I already read this. Okay, all right, guys. I think I'm caught up here with chat. Let me do one more poll for you guys. Do you guys like this format more, or do you like the hero tier list debates more? do you like this format for streams? I'll do yes, and then I'll do no, and I'll do I like tier list debates more. Yeah, so let me know, guys. I definitely want to get some feedback from y'all, and then depending on what you guys like, I'll do that next time. I don't know if you guys prefer to hear tier list debates more, where I like have chat vote and then we move it, or you guys prefer for like us to just kind of go more quickly on this. But at the same time, this stream is almost 2 hours now. It's 1 hour 55 minutes. So like even then, yeah, maybe I can try to speed this up next time. I think that Hercules just has more cards, right, with a labor mechanic, and it's kind of why it took longer. But I definitely want to speed this up a little bit. So you guys are all voting yes. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So maybe I'll stop the tier list debates and just do tier list like with you guys, and you guys can determine where the cards go by voting. So I think that that's a still a fair way to do it and have y'all's input in this. But yeah, I'm very surprised with Hercules' mechanic looks very weak, but it seems like from what we have with his card rankings is that his individual cards are actually quite powerful. Like on average, his cards are actually very good and powerful. But it seems like that a lot of people think that he's not going to be that powerful himself because the way that the cards mesh together in his labor mechanics looks underwhelming. I think that's kind of what we have going on here because you guys also voted for the identity cards to be in the B tier as well, right? So yeah, I think that he's one of those heroes. He's definitely super strong and worth it whenever he's built out. It's just that the journey to get there may be too difficult. So I'm interested to see how the design will be when we actually play him, guys. So yeah, I mean, thank you everyone for joining the stream. That's my final closing thoughts here on Hercules. And yeah, you guys voted to keep this format for streams. Okay, 100% of the votes here. So next time we'll probably keep on doing this type of format where we just talk about the cards, and then I'll ask you guys where you guys rank them, and I'll put where I would personally put them, and you guys can move my ranking based on the democratic process here. So yeah, all right, guys. Thank you everyone for joining this live stream. A lot longer than I wanted it to be, almost near 2 hours. But yeah, hopefully we can keep on cutting these down a little bit more because I want to talk about the cards, but I also want to like hang out a little bit more, talk about other stuff as well, and then not really like I don't know. I want more time to like talk about other stuff as well, not just the cards. So we'll see what we're able to do here in the future. But yeah, thank you guys, everyone, so much for joining the live stream here. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. And yeah, I'm excited for all the new reviews here for the aspect cards. But I'm glad we were able to get all the Hercules cards down here to do this video. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys a lot. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye, guys.